Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 4 of season 12 in the book of Romans. We're camping on the theme of the book of Romans, which is in Romans chapter 1, verses 16 and 17. It says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone who believes, to the Jew first and also the Greek. For in it the righteousness of God is revealed from faith for faith. As it is written, the righteous shall live by faith." So we're going to address the concept today and title today, "I am ashamed of the gospel because." But let's just review what the gospel is. We're going to have 16 chapters for that, but let's give a little quick summary here. So we have God up in heaven, and he has this right standing with himself. Why? He's fully satisfied in himself. Why? Because he's this burning glow of perfection and holiness and goodness, and appropriately, he's pleased with himself for that. He must be righteous. He's been like that forever. He'll be like that forever. But then he says, I'm going to show you my righteous. He didn't have to do this. I'm going to show you my righteousness. I'm going to reveal it to you that human beings can know this. Know that he is good. Know that he is perfect. Know that he is holy. So we have an ability to see it and then access it correctly. Now, some falter here and say, in thinking and saying, sometimes you'll hear this even out loud, is that God is not good. You hear this in the sentence, well, what kind of a God would ... do this thing? So you have some people choosing to either misunderstand or misassess the goodness of God, his perfection, his righteousness. All right. So here's the good news. He's righteous. The bad news is we are not. And who of us could similarly describe our character or our actions as perfect and holy good? Nobody. That's called sin. So this is the gospel, that he is righteous and we are not. But we have a way to access this. So we have the righteousness of God, this burning essential character of himself, is revealed by the righteousness from God, that is, in his gospel. So his essential character is demonstrated by his actions. So he makes his essential character, which he could have kept to himself, he makes it knowable by his actions, in short, by the gospel. So how do we access it? How do we get a piece of this pie for ourselves? And that is by faith. The righteous shall live by faith. It says it in the New Testament, and it says it in the Old Testament. And we're going to find some heroes of that in the book of Romans, most specifically Abraham. So we access this righteousness as we always have, that is by faith. We get this slice of power to defeat the penalty for sin and to defeat the reality of death. So how am I going to live before this perfect, holy, righteous God with my filthy rag righteousness? Well, we do it by faith. All right, so if this is so amazing, if the gospel is so amazing, which we just said that it is, why does it say in verse 16, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel"? So what would cause us to be ashamed of the gospel? Well, I have 3 things for you to think about that I've thought about this morning that would make us ashamed of the gospel. So one is that I think too highly of the world. The second is I think too highly of myself. And the third is I don't think at all, and I don't put knowledge to the task. So let's talk about the world, first of all, that we value and honor this world greater than we honor and value that world, the heavenly world, the godly world, God's teaching. So I'm thinking of a little picture here where we have the greater than symbol with the mouth of the fish facing to the left side. So we're valuing the world over on the left rather than flipping that greater than symbol to a lesser than symbol, and we value the world less than the world of heaven. So right now we might have a tendency, because the world hates and opposes and mocks and reviles and thinks this whole gospel thing is folly. And it puts us in the crosshairs of mockery and being reviled. And so if the world, this world and being mocked, looms larger than the satisfaction of the other world, then I think we would have a tendency to be ashamed. So the trick is which way is your greater than, less than symbol facing? Is it facing with the mouth of the fish towards the world, or is it facing towards the next world? And does it demonstrate the righteousness of God? So the other thing is he allows us access of this by faith, and it's for everybody. That's the great thing about the gospel. He's going to go on and on about this. Is now the Jews are welcoming the Gentiles into this. So this is salvation. It's power. It's chain breaking. It's death crushing, and it's sin fixing, and it's relationship restoring. So let's keep that in mind, so we don't love the world too much, and we really put our both feet into the next world. Okay, so that's one thing, is we love the world too much. The second thing is I love myself too much, which is, in a sense, the gospel is insulting. And if I'm loving myself too much, and I'm loving my ability to pull myself up by the bootstraps, and I answer the question of, I got saved by faith plus something else, plus some activity, plus some action that I did. Well, first of all, that's not the gospel, but I'm tempted to do that because it makes me look a little bit better, and so I could be ashamed of the gospel because of its simplicity, because I love myself and I want to get more credit, I guess, if you will. And then the third thing is just ignorance. Is I love my ignorance, and I just don't know, or I don't want to know. So here's the challenge here. Is I challenge you to eat this elephant with me. We're going to move on from this summary, which Paul starts the book of Romans with. We're going to move on for this summary. And if we're feeling ashamed, if we're hyper-valuing this world versus the next world, or if we're hyper-valuing ourself and our contribution, or if we're hyper-valuing our understanding or trying to stay dumb as a rock, then my challenge is, let's eat this elephant. First of all, let's learn what it is, learn what the gospel is. Then let's consume it, and then let's learn to love it one bite at a time. Again, I can be ashamed of the gospel if I don't eat it one bite at a time. Thanks for listening.